I was pleased with the energy and kind of just I thought we were efficient. I thought especially that first huddle, they were good getting in and out of the huddle. They got lined up. There was, not a ton of mental mistakes, which they were on their own for the first time, and then guys were able to make some plays. So it was good. It was good back and forth, but I was definitely pleased with the overall attention to detail by that first group for sure.
Anybody in particular, step up in that kind of situation? You always, it's that next part of the evaluation.
Yeah, no, I thought there. I mean, there were guys, but I thought the line collectively was sharp. There's always things to clean up, but I thought that they were physical and they played really well together. We went out there with the intention of probably throwing it more than running it. That was the mindset. Just wanted to see the quarterbacks play and evaluate them all and see the receivers make plays and put guys in position to do some things. And we were able to do that and get a good evaluation. I thought Will did a nice job too.
What do you see from the guys behind the wheel?
That's a good question. I mean, I see guys day to day. Like it's a different guy every day that's kind of been stepping up or probably has had a better day. So it's a constant evaluation. It's a competition. There's a standard of play, and they have to they get a limited amount of reps, and they have to make each rep count. But yeah, we'll look at it as a whole, the entire spring, and how they trend and who finishes the right way, and take that into the summer. But it's a battle. It's a good competition. It's healthy, and we'll see how it finishes up. But they're making each other better, and that's what's most important.
Going into this weekend, how do you kind of approach a spring game? Do you kind of want to give people a show, or do you kind of view it as more than just a regular practice? Kind of what's your
If it's cold enough and no one shows up and then we don't show anything, everyone will be happy. But no, listen, one of the advantages that we have right now is there's an unknown to what we're doing. Obviously, you'd like to keep as much of that in-house as possible until the last second. And so, as it goes, you don't want to go out there and give them everything, but you want to go out. To me, the biggest part is we're continuing to evaluate, and there's got to be 55 to 70 reps out there for players that they have to get better at. We have to evaluate them at that are invaluable. So how we use those and trying to put guys in positions to make plays is what's most important to me, and seeing who can step up in those moments. And I thought last week, again, it was good, and I hope we can continue to do that and build on that and take it into summer. But no, we're not going to open up the playbook to the world, and that's just the way it goes.
How much different will Saturday be compared to the controlled scrimmages you've already had?
Yeah, it'll be very similar. I mean, it won't be much. Oh, I'm sorry, it won't be much different than last Saturday, other than maybe who gets the reps and whatnot. But for the most part, it'll be very similar as far as the amount, how we construct it, and there's give and take by both the offense and defense. We're trying to help each other get better and make sure that we can give each other both what we need.
Rich, this time a year ago, Liam was talking a lot about that outside zone run, and they didn't maybe use it as much as they intended. How much have you all been able to focus on that this spring, kind of taking that next step there?
Yeah, I mean, it's the run part has been good. I mean, the defense challenges you because they're very multiple and they do a lot of different stuff. But as far as the run game goes, I feel very strongly that we're on pace, and I think that it's outside zone, it's inside zone, it's complementing everything. So for us, it is what we do. It is at our identity, and it is important that we master it. So yes, we have emphasized it, and no, it won't go away during the year.
Coach, I've heard a couple of defensive players when they've been asked about the new offense. They both said, "This offense is crazy, man." I mean, why would a defender say that? And they said it in a good way.
No.
But what's your reaction to that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that at the core of the offense, you're just trying to put defenders in conflict. So the whole goal is, can you make everything look the same, whether it's a run or a pass, a play action, a naked, or the run? And can the formation look the same? Can the pad level of your players look the same? Can the quarterback's ball handling? We practice that way. We script that way. we game plan that way. And so, yeah, everything is packaged in that way. And so, if we're doing our job and we're doing it right, it's to the defense. Hopefully, they can't tell whether the line comes off the ball or whether it's a run or pass. And if we're doing a good job, and they think that's crazy, I'm happy. So I'll buy it. But yeah, I mean that's the goal. And they challenge us every day. They're well coached and they do a lot of stuff on defense. It's more than we'll see during the season. So it does prepare us in a lot of ways.
What's the flip side of that from a defensive perspective? What people are trying to do to put what you're doing in conflict?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I wouldn't want to give everything away there, but I will tell you that the NFL, what let's just say what we saw in 2015 to what Atlanta saw in 16 when they were one of the best offenses in the history of the NFL to what happens today, the league has evolved. The style of defense has evolved because there are certain things you can no longer do really to stop certain things with schematically that make a problem. So teams have learned to adjust. It's part of why we talked about it before, kind of Brad's defense is kind of in vogue, the kind of the coverage schemes on the back end because you have to negate the big plays. And if you don't do that the certain way with your coverage and the way your safeties play, it's very difficult to stop explosives down the field. Which on every play we're trying to score on every play. That's our mindset. So.
With what you're seeing now, how did that compare to your expectations beforehand in terms of what guys would learn and how they transition to your system?
Yeah, it's been 1 to 10. There's guys that are 10 and it's easy and they picked it up quick, and there are other guys that are new and maybe their foundation isn't there and it's going to take a little longer. But that's the bottom line is it's our job to learn what they can and can't handle, and we're going to push them to the max. And I've been very pleased. In the end, if you have a quarterback that has the mental capability to handle a lot, a center like Eli that can handle a lot, I think that they can steer the ship and they can bring others along, and it helps them, flow in your system a little easier. And I've been pleased though. We have, coach has done a great job. We've recruited some really smart football players. There's talent, but there's some really smart football IQ guys, and that we need that. Our system is not easy in that way. You got to have some ability to learn to be able to play for us.
Rich, by the time of everything, you kind of got thrown into spring. What will you do in the summer when spring is over to try to focus on when you got a little more time to focus on things? What will you do?
Yeah, I mean it's really get to know the conference. Quite honestly, it's like spend as much time possible studying the defenses in this league, just so you have a great handle on how people attack you and what they're thinking and how they what they do. That's always that knowledge is invaluable. So come game planning week, you have a foundation. Because I don't know these guys and kind of how they'll play us. So getting that familiarity, and then having a great plan of attack for each player in our program in the offseason. To have a nice detailed plan so they have the 2 or 3 things they need to really improve on so that they can come into August and really elevate their game in those ways. And if they do that, we'll max ourselves out, and I think we'll have a chance to be pretty good as a whole.